What it do, and welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Wind-Down, your favorite chat show hosted by yours truly, JerBear, aka Jeremiah Neal, aka the Pop Culture Maven, aka a prideful baddie, y'all. Happy Pride Month! Happy Pride Month, everybody. The month has been off to a dope start, y'all. Your girl just been active. That's how we love to be, okay? Been doing a lot of vision board planning, which is like my favorite. I love to dreamscape, y'all. And I've also been doing a lot of celebrating, many pockets of celebration of just everything that I've been able to achieve for the last year. Because y'all, if someone would have told me last year this time that I would have been doing all the stuff that I'm doing right now, I would have been laughing in their face. Like when I left LA, y'all, I had no desire to be doing any of this. I did not want to be on camera, didn't want to be in the spotlight. I was forcing myself to be doing little city vlogs here in New York when I first moved here. And then that's when I stopped. I did about like 6 and I was like, I'm not doing this no more because this don't feel like I've healed or I've augmented. I've had to just a refresh, a reboot. So now that the reboot is here, girl, okay. I'm giving y'all a whole network of content and I love it. But overall, I'm just so happy to see everything just blossoming. And the fact that I'm attracting new listeners every single week just baffles my mind. I'm so appreciative of all y'all. Thank y'all for giving your girl a chance to share my insight and be all crazy, sexy, cool when it comes to this Popholics game, okay? Even the streets. I'm like, maybe this was the mission all along. Nevertheless, anywho, I hope y'all are doing good. Y'all are doing dandy. Hopefully better than West and Amanda. I kid. But just know, y'all, this Summer House soliloquy is on its way. It's on its way. Be ready, okay? Now, one thing that I know and two things for sure. The gays cannot survive, since it's Pride Month. The gays cannot survive without a pop star girly to cling and latch on to. It's been that way since I was a kid. When it came to Britney and Christina and, me, I was like an avant-garde people like Enya. I forgot about her too. What's the lady that sing? Sail away, sail away, sail away. But anywho, recently a lot of my pop girlies that I've been latching onto have been women in rap. Some people might be surprised that I consume a lot of rap because I guess my brand gives off very, Disney Channel pop, slightly R&B girly. But for me, when it comes to rap, I think I just prefer women rappers over men just because I feel like they have some type of sense behind their rhymes, even if it is about sex. Like they're still so creative with their word choices, or even if it's so harsh and abrupt, it at least has like some type of catchiness to it. There are some men that I still consume. I love me, obviously, Kendrick. I love me, Damani Harris, T.I. son, very J. Cole, but for the new age. But, if it's going to be something conscious or that they're trying to motivate men to think outside of this narrative of I'm going to spin the block and pop you if you don't give me some gummy bears. I'm just like, I'm over this. This is so 1993. Whereas the women, girl, they're giving me what I need. I think it's also that I probably can relate to the women on their subject matter way more than the men. Because first of all, if we haven't established, even though this is a peaceful garden, we do believe that men ain't shit on the Weekly Rundown. Sorry to my 14% men listeners. But for me, I guess I just relate to women more. Like their subject matter is just more up in my alley. Come give me some loving. Come give me some money. I'ma shake my ass. Like these are the topics that I can get down with 24/7 all the time. I think it's also funny, especially nowadays, that people think there's such a strong atmosphere of vulgarity when it comes to women in rap. Everything is so hypersexual. Like y'all remember the reaction that WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion received, even though real ones know if you grew up with Lil' Kim and Trina and Jackie O and Kaya, girl, that was nothing. So I think that plays a big part of it too. It's like who you had access to as a kid or as a teenager really shapes how you can digest and consume the reflection of the new pop rap girlies that are out and doing their thing. So this is how we blossom and evolve into our own desired phoenix in a way. So I do feel like these ladies are getting better at the way that they are walking the walk that they talk. Okay, it's like they align better. So I just naturally gravitate towards that. So today, I'd love to talk about the current status of women in hip hop and who's popping their thing and who could be doing a little better and what they could be doing to take things to another level. I would say the main vibes that we're going to be shooting for are, I want to see more legacy and less trend-based content. That comes to the music, that comes to the talking points that they're talking about in interviews. I want to see more UNITY, like my girl Queen Latifah, okay girl, amongst these ladies. No more beefing, please. And I want to see less listening and less involvement of the men in their camps when it comes to the decision making. Okay. But yeah, we're going to break these down into these little micro categories and also spotlight some women that I feel like are getting things right. Okay. And some that need a little bit of work, but we ain't going to just sit here and drag them. We're going to give them some pointers to help uplift the brand so we can keep staying on these boys' necks like we should always be doing. All right, y'all, the new class. So first of all, I just want to shout out, I love the fact that you can just go onto Spotify or Apple Music and search female rap as has like a playlist and there's like hundreds of girls. I love that. I feel like that's how it should have always been. There should have never been no gatekeeping. And it honestly wasn't like that in the 80s and 90s. I felt like there was tons of ladies that wanted to be out there and show love and support in one another. And then for some reason, within the 90s, it started getting smaller and smaller. And then by the mid and late 2000s, it dwindled down to like 2 or 3 that were like being featured and spotlighted, you know, in a way. And we already know who the main one is because she over here causing devastation to the nation every single day. I'm trying my best not to be focusing about her. But anywho, there's this new class of girlies that I just have on rotation that I just want to shout out that people will be kind of surprised that I listen to, but I have a couple of their songs on my playlist and I think they deserve it. Their love and their flowers. And I just love their agenda. Shout out to Monaleo. Oh my gosh. Ruby Rose, Trim, the Sunshine Busy, even though she's been a little controversial lately. Lola Brooke, don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it, play. The Maya the Dawn, Pluto, like, it's all about the confidence. They carry that conceited Remy Ma vibe that I love, or it's like Lil' Kim on Overload to the extreme. I like that. I like that people can walk into this world and view themselves no matter what body type they have, what skin tone they are. They just walk with Baby Tate. Oh my gosh, how could I leave her off? They just walk with this confidence that I feel is so inspiring for young girls to be able to see. It's not only one variation on how you need to be when it comes to expressing yourself or even when it comes to expressing your talent. In addition, I feel like I'm so happy that this doll era is over. No more dolls. We had Cash Doll, Asian Doll, Dream Doll, which gave me daughters of that lady who shall not be named. You know what I mean? It gave her more fuel to this fire that she is this queen that she has given this title to that I don't ever think that we should have ever fed into back in 2016. But overall, again, that made it feel like very one-dimensional. We had to stay into this box of a very bimbo, big boob. I'm aware, big boob? I'm gonna wear lingerie and a bathing suit and some stilettos in every music video with a bust down. Like, you know, that's one vibe of rap. And we still have some of that today, but we also have a lot of different variations, which I love. Not every girl has to be a Barbie. Like, there's so many other aesthetics. Another thing I want to point out is now we have all these girlies, like I mentioned on the playlist, but it felt like my mid 2010 girlies, like they ran a big part of the marathon, and I don't feel like they got enough love for what they did on kind of like expanding the game or the sound or pushing boundaries. Yes, they kind of imitated a little bit of Nicki Minaj, I'd say, but there were a couple of people, like for instance, Flo Milli. I will always want to give Flo Milli her flowers. I feel like she wasn't underground, but she was part of like pushing women-led rap on social media. And I think that was a new territory that a lot of people that came prior to her didn't have to match. So she needs to get her flowers for that. Tay Money. White girl's always been trying to be in this game, but I feel like she came with her whole Dallas draw. And a lot of people don't realize, but Bust Down Tatiana is definitely a rip off of her Trapper's Delight song. Like, I definitely feel like Blueface ripped off her sound and flow for his track, and she couldn't get enough like recognition or people saying something about that because she was a smaller artist. She was a white woman in the rap game as well. So she definitely deserves some recognition for that. And I know that she's been still trying to do her thing. Dej Loaf. Oh my gosh. Talk about unique sound identity. Like, that's something that I felt like was missing for, and it is kind of still missing. Like, when she comes on a record, you know, that's her. And some of these girls are missing that. They're trying to sound like, again, like Voldemortress. So yeah, there's many girls in that class that like ran a strong terrain, but I don't feel like they're reaping the benefits and the flowers of real strong streaming or consistent bookings for shows. Not saying that the 3 that I just named are struggling, y'all. I'm just saying, imagine you running like 90, 95%, well, not that much either, 60% of a marathon when it comes to like the digital and social media age. And then this new class of girls, the Callies, just come on and just take over the internet. Flyana Boss running around Hollywood in the grocery store. You be like, damn. I paved the way somewhat in a way for y'all. But nevertheless, shout out to them girls. It's just a realization, y'all. We're getting to a point where everybody can get to a bag and produce the epic music video. Everybody has budget, or the best slick camera, or they can snag that feature. So the formula of achievability is written like a blueprint. You can just go on YouTube and figure out, how can I become a pop star? Record your music in your bedroom, release that shit on Spotify, on streaming services, hell, even SoundCloud. If people are going to tap in eventually, it might be a microcosm, it might be a big wave, but somehow, some way, people are going to find your stuff. So I get that. However, where is the definitive lane for some of these women? It gives very much repetitive, or, I saw saw someone else doing this, so I'm gonna follow a trend. And I want us to really challenge ourselves to not be that way and follow our own lanes of identity. I want a purple lane, a blue lane, a yellow lane of sound. Okay. Yes, we can come together. Yes, we can have like a homogenous sound because every era, every decade has a wave of focus. I get that. But we ain't got to copycat each other. When we saw, oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Missy Elliott did not look or sound like Lisa Left Eye Lopez, who did not sound like Angie Martinez, who did not sound like The Brat, who did not sound like Lil' Kim. It was all individuality. Okay. That's what we are missing. We are missing in that diversity of the seasonings. That's what's going to take us to the next level. And so I would really hope that we can stop focusing on hopping on a bandwagon and finding our true identity and our true sounds instead of trying to replicate something from what we heard in the past. Because if we keep this up, y'all, it's going to snowball, it's going to avalanche into like flooding out the scene to where this genre almost becomes like not obsolete, but kind of gives people to be like another excuse as to why they shouldn't invest into women in rap. And I feel like, again, outside of them pursuing their passions and being very talented artists, it could also be a very lucrative industry. They deserve to be making the same big bucks as the 21 Savages and the Drakes. They truly deserve it. They have the buying power. There's so many women that would love to be able to attend. If AEG and Live Nation went trying to jack up everybody price tickets, they would love to be attending these concerts or would find some type of value in being surrounded by an empowering stadium of women chanting certain songs. I don't know. Everybody deserves that, but we can't flood out the scene with everybody just kind of trying to chant the same type of vibe over and over again. Give me some diversity, okay? I know the girlies are working hard, so I just hope that they can just focus on building their own unique brands that are going to be iconic like 15 years from now. Y'all know me, I'm so long-winded about it, but it's all about longevity. What are you going to stand for 10, 15 years from now? Yeah, you can have current trendy hits, but are they sonically going to hit the same 10, 15 years from now? Are people going to want to put this in the repertoire of throwbacks at the clubs or the functions? Okay. For me, I'm not getting that from Lotto's current projects or her current catalog. There's a couple songs, and maybe it's the songs that have the samples. Hello, it's just something to think about. You know how I know what I'm talking about is the truth? Look at the other hand. We still got artists like Queen Latifah that's still being relevant, still hosting award shows, still being an actress on television shows. She over here doing jazz albums in addition to her rap because she didn't limit herself in her creativity. She blossomed, she augmented, and so that should always be the goal. When you get into that low vibrational, I want to beef and argue, I got the best punani and I'm the best in this industry, and that's like your agenda to fight, you're never gonna soar to those same horizons as people like Queen Latifah. You know what I mean? That's the legacy that y'all should be focusing on wanting to build. Like, look at the MC Lights, the Salt and Peppers. They still on them little reunion tours, y'all. They still getting their bags, and they came out in the 80s before some of y'all parents was even born, or when they was at least in like elementary school, middle school. So it's crazy that they still doing their thing. Someone that I feel like is like doing that, who doing her own wave, Rico Nasty, giving me individuality, giving me a hint of rock, giving me a hint of alt, a hint of pop, even makeup. Like, I can't wait for her to be collaborating with the Nixes and the Macs and stuff like that. Like, she's perfect. She has it. She's ready to blossom into like the next superstar terrain if we could just give that a chance instead of celebrating the copycats. But that's just me. Now, this is the biggest subject that I feel like could be also a blocker or a hindrance as to why we're not seeing the girlies hit the next terrain of superstardom. It's a big thing for me, and it's a big root of all the problems, all the drama, etc., that these women tend to be facing, especially earlier on in their careers. And it's the men in their camps trying to control the shots, the narratives of their environment in the entertainment industry. Now, most of the ladies in hip hop are usually signed to like a male dominated camp. So this was always a big deal. Like, you remember this when Iggy signed with Grand Hustle, which is T.I.'s thing. And everyone was like, T.I., you can go find Shauna's, for instance, in Atlanta. And then you went to pick the white girl cosplaying the Atlanta draw from Australia. Although I can't hate on Iggy because Iggy had a #1 and a #2 song on the Billboard Hot 100. So she was also doing her thing business-wise, and I think that's what T.I. saw. But nevertheless, they always want to have one female rapper that represents their woman rapper in the squad. That was Eve with the Rough Riders. That was Lil' Kim with Junior Mafia. That's Doechii with TDE. That was City Girls with Quality Control. The issue with this formula with some of these men is that they thrive in messiness, y'all. They are messier than the women artists in the game. They love to be in the drama of things. You can see this on the Joe Budden podcast. I will stand firm in this. They let their true colors show all the time, and they think that we can't see messy. They love the messiness of things. They just code it as this is bro conversation and we just talk about real shit, dog. Always playing like telephone and just being messy with people's emotions. And they just like stirring up the pot. And I just feel like it's very tacky to me because these men are always the ones that are alluding that women are the emo creatures and they're the ones that are always imbalanced in thought and observation. And the men are the ones that are the messier ones. They messier than the plate of family style nachos, y'all. And if women could learn to lean and support on one another instead of entertaining the antics of these lame men that want to supposedly guide their careers, which what they really want is control and that punani girl, we could have so much more successful outcomes. So many women slingshot. They want their chance. They try their best to just catapult and to be seen in this industry and they just get washed away. They just get run over and they got to work 10x to have those outcomes. But it can work. And I feel like the key to that is women-driven teams. Now, the examples that I'm about to give y'all are not necessarily women in rap, but Addison Rae just got nominated for Best New Artist Grammy and her album was produced by all women, okay? Victoria Monet won 2 or 3 Grammys off of her recent Jaguar 2 promo. That was an all-woman-led team. So when women can band together, women king vibes, they can drive success. And think about it, I just named this music video, but why don't we have a Ladies Night Rap Tour the same way that we have the Scream Tour that features Bow Wow and B2K and all those other acts? You want to know why? Because the men on these camps want to gas up these women and thinking that there can only be one top dog, okay? There can only be one that's going to be winning and one that's going to be benefiting. They don't understand how forceful it is when women come together for the greater good. For instance, imagine if Nicki and Cardi B would have went on tour back in like 2017 and 2018. Instead of beefing, instead of letting the men in their camps, because I know that's exactly what happens, it was the men in their ears gassing them up and making them say, oh, this and this and that, and but you the one that run New York for real. It ain't her, she that new chick, or you new hot shit. She just old and washed up. It was the men in their ears stirring up the pot, okay? Just making shit so silly. But imagine if they would have went on tour. Imagine if they got on the same page. They could have been representing the north and the east of New York and could have taken the world by storm. But now this is the result that we have. Get these men out y'all camps and out y'all ears, okay? All right, y'all. Now it's time to highlight some ladies that I think are getting it right. And I love their music and I love what they stand for. They can be a little bit controversial at times, but hey, it is what it is and it was what it was. Starting off with my girl Doja Cat, okay? A lot of people don't think Doja Cat is a rapper. I consider Doja Cat a rapper. I love that she, when we talk about not limiting herself, I love that she doesn't limit herself. I love that she was up there performing Diamonds Are Forever at the Oscars. I love when she tweeted, a bitch hit some bad notes. When you honest with yourself, girl, can't nobody come for you. Can't nobody spread your tea. Even though she is not limited to just being a rapper, I do feel like she fits in the rapper space. And she's probably one of the best that we got outside of Doechii. They both respect each other so much. And I love that. I love that they toured together. I love that Doja shouts out Doechii in interviews. And I feel like if Doja could learn how to just stay out of the weird controversies, like the stuff that's happening with her dad and how they're falling out. And did y'all know that Doja Cat's dad was a famous actor back in like the 80s and the 90s? So I guess he still is in South Africa. But it's stuff like that. Like, I don't want that to control the narrative of her career. I want her music to be able to, because she got songs that came out 10 years ago that I'm like, dang, these songs are still hitting. So talk about that longevity that we were referencing earlier. She's one that's carrying that. And I love that. She has the potential to be iconic. Just let the music speak for itself. Continuing on with the iconic awards. Y'all already know how I feel about my girl, Doechii, Florida's finest. I will say some of the latest releases have been a bit more commercial and pop driven, which is interesting because when she did her Alligators rollout 2 years ago, she was saying like she didn't like how songs like Slide were on the project because they were so commercial. And then the stuff that she's coming out with this year, like for the Devil Wears Prada, Lady Gaga collaboration, is the most RuPaul commercial music that I've heard in a long time. Very Todrick Hall girl, okay? And this not me coming for her, but I'm just saying, get the bag, be multifaceted girl, but don't forget that Nissan Altima lane, because I feel like if you can master being in both worlds, kind of like how Nicki did. Nicki was giving us starships and then she was also giving us bees in the trap. You know what I mean? So I feel like don't you got to give us both so she don't get lost in that. You know, Anxiety was taking over at the same time. Imagine if she was able to give us a urban hit the same way that Anxiety was peaking to show the world that she can master all the realms. Oh, that would make her in the legendary iconic status realm. We getting a little international with the next one, girl. Young Miko, girl. My girlie said, don't exclude mi gente Latino, okay? And I absolutely agree. I love Young Miko. I love her flow. I love how she's talk about owning a market, girl. She said, I got all these Hispanic and Latino people that love rap. They love trap. They love all these genres. I'm just going to do it in my language, girl. And I know that's right, okay? She's been collaborating with everybody. She got to collaborate with Lil Jon, Cat's Eye Girl. Like, yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. If everybody gonna cross-pollinate and borrow different sounds, Timbaland was doing that when he was stealing all them Indian sounds for Aaliyah and everybody music in the late 90s and early 2000s. Let people borrow, but give respect and homage. Don't be like the K-pop people, y'all. Sid, y'all, oh my goodness. Y'all, Sid from the Internet is releasing a new album July 17th. We have been lacking. See, this is what I'm talking about. Identity, uniqueness. Now, although Sid gives me more like melodic rap, she's not, I'm going to put your show. She don't give you that kind of rap. I still consider Sid to be a rapper, and I can't get enough of their type of music. It's just like this whole like neo soul group. What damn? What's little Kentucky boy name? Jack Harlow think he doing that whole neo soul groove. And I just love how she's able to carve out her own vibe, her own sound amongst this generation of entertainers in her class. My girl Trim, Coconut Water. I shouted her out on Here for the Best, but I love Trim. I feel like Trim is taking it for the Gen Z girlies. Like, yes, she is a direct derivative of She Who Shall Not Be Named, but the hunger is so there. My girl was on the side of the stage puking and then went right back out on her set. I think it was at Rolling Loud, Miami, and did her performance, girl. She just needs some performance training. Like, where is Lorianne? Boom, cat for your life. Give her a couple dancers, girl. Like, the production value is there. She already got the nice camera work when it comes to her social media posts. She knows her direction, and I love that. And she's also been able to corral traction by herself without the top dogs at these labels thinking that, oh, they're going to run things. And I love that. So I think she's out of Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. Well, wherever you're from, Trim, just know I see you, girl. And I feel like that's dope work. Do your thing. Obviously, shouted her out earlier. Rico Nasty, I love you, girl. Love me some Baby Tate. Coyle Ray. Yes, yes, yes. I know she kind of like took a break off. Did she release a new album? I think it came out earlier this year because she did an interview with Keke Palmer, but I don't know. I feel like Coyle Ray, even though she's a Nepo baby, she still had her own identity. I loved it. I feel like she should do another project very soon. All right. Some of my girlies that need a little bit of work. Now, this is all love. It's all just constructive criticism. I just want to see my girlies get out of this imaginary Kia, like the white girls love to say, the Kia asylum. But if they could just polish up the act a little bit, they could reap the benefits of what some of the girls that I just previously went over are living in. So number one, Lord Lent. This girl has been going viral on TikTok. Her sound, she does like this very loud screaming drill rap. She goes viral, so she's got that in the bag. I just feel like she's going to be very limited if she doesn't find like another way to calm it down, girl. Like, it's very one-dimensional. You can only scream those girls that like that ride the bus and drink Takis and Arizona iced teas and stuff like that. They're eventually going to graduate from high school and have to go get their degrees or become a nurse or the damn astronaut, girl. But I guarantee you they're not going to be listening to that when they got to study for the crazy exams. So diversify the catalog, boo. My girl Saweetie, Bay Area is fine. Oh no, she's from Sac. I think Sweetie's from Sac. My thing with Sweetie is I feel like Sweetie does better in like non-music related activities. Like, Sweetie's songs aren't the reason why she maintains her longevity and her success. It might be the catalyst, but it's the brand deals, it's the interviews after. That's the stuff that be carrying her, not necessarily her songs. So that's what worries me about her, is that she's branding herself as a rapper, but I feel like she's more of like a socialite. So I need her to like really, really, really work on this craft. I don't even know if she's ever released that album that was supposed to release 8 years ago. And if she has, we definitely need better marketing or a better rollout, because some of these new girlies, they know how to make some commotion. Maybe that's what she needs to do, collaborate with some of the new girlies so she can stir up some commotion online or figure out a way to carve her space out, because she knows how to secure her little like Beats headphone collaborations, and that's how I know she's relevant. But I want to know that she can sit on her own accord, you know? Glorilla. I find Glow's music very repetitive, very similar to Big Lotto. Always the same cadences, the same beats. I do love how Glorilla rides for Memphis. I think that's something cool. I love the whole regional vibe, how she's holding down a regional sound. But she's another person that I feel like centers herself around men. Like, she seeks male validation or male approval of how well she's doing, what she should do, what her next move should be. And that's going to cause her to have random beats with people that actually tried to put her on, i.e. Megan and such. But you know what I mean? She's one that if she doesn't tread lightly, she might end up ruining the people that might be able to look out for her. When those men get tired of you and they feel like you're going to be washed up or whatever, they're going to go to the new next glossy, shiny thing, new object for them, because that's how they view women, y'all. Not me. I'm just saying it how it is. It's the girlies that are going to come and have your defense, or that they would have had you not been so male-focused, girl. So get it together, Glorilla. And get your sister, Brorilla, off the internet, please. Sexy Red. Not in my Neo voice. I feel like Sexy Red is like the MVP of popularity. Like, her growth within the commercial space is insane. Her feature track record is insane. Like, she has songs with Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber, girl, Drake, break 3-4 times. Like, artists would kill to have this type of exposure. So she's definitely a hot commodity. I just can't take Sexy Red seriously. Like, nothing about her rap style, nothing about anything that she says. She came out with that weird ass like makeup line where she was naming her lip gloss gonorrhea girl. Like, I can't take anything that this girl does seriously, and that is going to definitely affect her brand in the long term. I hope she is investing all this money into as many high yield savings accounts and investment portfolios she can, girl, because I don't know how long this gonna last, boo. So yeah, that's my only gripe with her. Imagine if Sexy Red actually came out with one serious song. Like, at least Cupcake came out with serious songs at times. Yo Miami and JT, controversial take, but I just want to see my girls back together. I just love a reunion. Maybe that I'm gonna be the host of the big reunion, because I used to love that show. Speaking of the 2010s, but City Girls thrive together, y'all. Like, they lack what each other have. Like, JT has like these clever bars. You can tell like she really sits down and tries to write her music, which is dope. But I feel like Young Miami just knows how to make music for her people. So they're both doing their thing solo. I really love JT's like alt pop vibe that she's been testing out. Very rocker girl. I'm a rocker girl. But I feel like they should just go ahead and do an album together. Like, even if it's a battle rapping album or like a dual album where they go against each other, like, be creative with it. Don't miss out on the bag just because you guys are like going through all this BS. The ladies from the 80s and 90s, they knew how to stick out some of the stuff. Whereas some of these new girlies, they love to just quit and be like, I'm done. Never give up on the good times. The Spice Girls have already told us this, y'all. And lastly, y'all, my girl, Ice Spice. Ice Spice. Now, we're talking about, again, being a commercial success. If we could rank being the best rapper on getting the most brand deals, girl, Ice Spice would have like 20 Grammys. She would be up there with Beyonce. Like, this girl on the commercial side of things has everything on lock. She got her own Kate Spade commercial. Like, she is a living, walking, true commercial, true billboard. So that's great, but where are the bars going to get better? Granted, she's one of the few first pop stars where I feel like in her era, you didn't need to have any type of substance to even get on. So why would she want to add substance now when that wasn't even a part of the formula to begin with? I get that. But just for me, it's just like, you don't go to college just to stay a freshman forever, girl. Like, you want to grow. You want to try. You want to maybe sing. I don't know. But something got to just change up a little bit. No, I don't know. Maybe I can't expect too much from these. No, maybe I should be expecting so much more from these people. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just the wishful thinking of me. But I feel like if these artists want to continue and to grow up, they got to grow up and out, not just up, not just remain in the same sphere 24/7. Ice Spice, she could do the whole Cardi B route. She could do a whole album in Spanish and put on all the girls from the Bronx. You see me? Y'all see my brain? I literally just gave her like a whole new album rollout campaign. And that's how you think of something 20 years from now. That's the same thing that Fat Joe and them used to be doing in the late 90s. This is how you build longevity in the industry, putting people on. But you're not also going to be washed up in 20 years if you do stuff more in that route instead of just talking about poop girl. So that's my brain. That's my take. Overall, girlies, I love what y'all are doing. Don't listen to these news reporters. Don't listen to these Republicans. Don't listen to anybody that has a problem with anything that y'all said, because I want y'all to know that man has said or done something 10 times worse in this lifetime, in this decade, in this year. I'm not saying go out there and like do bad things, but I'm saying just live your life, find your truth, find your authentic lane, collaborate with one another, and stay on these boys' necks. Like, they deserve to see how successful a tribe of women could be when unity is like the focal point, the pillar of which y'all stand on. So I love everything that y'all be doing. I love where we're going with this. If we could just stand in our individuality and our uniqueness, and yeah, keep on doing y'all thing. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I know it's a little bit different than what I typically do, but hopefully I put y'all on to some new rap girlies if y'all didn't know it. Some of the people that I mentioned. Maybe I'll make a little playlist. I always talk about that. The summer is here, girl. Get y'all hoochie mama shorts out. Get ready to go to the pool. It's about to be a vibe. I need to get my little tropical drinks going on. Poolside, sipping on a Mai Tai. Like Fifth Harmony, girl. Anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and get out and about in this beautiful city. I love y'all down. Thank y'all for listening. Make sure to give this podcast a like, a follow, a 5-star review, and share with a friend if you feel like they would love everything that we're getting into here on the Weekly Wind Down. This has been JerBear signing out, and I'll see y'all next week. Holla.